also open enrollment season, and right now we are joined by licensed Michigan Medicare specialist Debbie Stroup. How are you this afternoon?
I am doing well. I hope you are too. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited to have you here because
Thank
I know
you.
Medicare can be a whirlwind of something to dive into, and it's great that we have people like you who can really break it down for us.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Absolutely. But before we get into those details about open enrollment season, I also want you to tell us first, why are you so passionate about assisting seniors with Medicare plan selection?
Well, I have seen a lot in the Medicare world, and I have seen people get scammed because they call on a commercial they see on television, or they answer junk mail, or they listen to well-meaning family and friends who out of nowhere become a Medicare specialist, and they get into the wrong plan, and then it ends up costing them money because their doctors and their prescriptions are not in plan. The reason to pick a plan is that it fits your needs, not the name of the plan and not what everybody else tells you to do. It's super important.
All right, well, thank you so much for that, because a lot of times it is very easy. Things become a lot more convincing these days. Are there any other kind of mistakes or maybe key words when we see a lot of those ads, those junk mail, any of those things that we should kind of look out for at all?
Yeah, so people need to be aware when they hear big things like, we can offer you X number of dollars in dental, or we're going to cover everything for you. Those are the things to be leery of, because those are things to get you to pick up the phone and call. Once you call in, they're going to kind of convince you, let me just check for you, why don't you give me your Medicare number, and then you may not even know you're scammed into a plan that you really don't want.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
It happens a lot.
Very often, a lot more than we think. So thank you for breaking that down for us. But as open enrollment season is right now, right where we are, what are some of those key dates that we should be aware of and we should start marking on our calendar?
So I like to say it's the most wonderful time of year, Medicare open enrollment, and it's happening right now until December 7th. So if you're in a plan that you're not quite sure if it makes sense, now's the time to switch. Or perhaps you picked a plan that's not appropriate, or you're not sure if it's appropriate, now's the time to take a look at it. So it's super important to take a look at your plan.
Yeah, and you say the most wonderful time of the year. This is certainly the time to check our list, and to check it twice.
It is.
Even 3 times, I have to say.
It is, yes.
But there's also some changes coming to Medicare that people should really be aware about right now, don't you think?
So, yes, the biggest thing that you want to be aware of is the $2,000 maximum out of pocket for your prescriptions. And everybody thinks, oh my gosh, that sounds great. I'm not going to have to pay more than $2,000 maximum for my prescriptions. It's great until it's not. Okay, so a lot of you may have gotten your annual notice of change, and your premium went from $4 to $75. Or your deductible went from $200 to $600, or your prescription went from $5 to $100, or even worse, you get to the pharmacy and your prescription's not even in plan. So these prescription drug companies and the Medicare plans, they have to make their money up somewhere, and guess what? It's going to come out of your pocket.
That is, well, thank you so much for breaking that down for us.
I know.
And of course, you've given us so much information just in this little bit of time that we have. But why should someone utilize your services? We're actually going to put them up right here on the screen right now.
Yeah, so there'll be a QR code up there, so go ahead and put your phone up there and do that. So I am licensed by Medicare to help folks in the state of Michigan. There is never a charge for my services, and I am here with you throughout your entire Medicare journey. So if you get a bill in 2 years that you don't understand, you call me and we will work through that. And we represent all of the companies. So there's no reason to listen to a scammer on the phone or a commercial or your well-meaning family and friends. We work with it all, and we are here to make sure you are successful. You've earned peace and tranquility in Medicare, and we're going to make sure you get it.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for showing us that you are a trusted and reliable source. And of course, thank you for breaking that all down tonight. You guys can review it also online this afternoon. And of course, we've got more Studio 10 on the way. We'll be right back.